scientists and archaeologists think that they have uncovered a room called the Void in the Great Pyramid of Egypt, the Cheops Pyramid, that houses Pharaoh's alien throne that's made of a meteorite from outer space. And it's located in a specific part of the pyramid that I feel has a purpose of reaching a higher consciousness, reaching a godlike status. Now, if you look at the pyramids and the way that they link up with Orion's belt and the apex of a pyramid, if you've ever researched pyramid power, if you've ever read the book by Dr. Patrick Flanagan called Pyramid Power, or Dr. Dunn, where he actually wrote an essay, a compilation of essays, a very great book called The Pyramid Power Plant Theory, or something similar to that. I'll get the book. Great read. These pyramids are so intertwined in mystery and fascination, and the spells that are linked to these pyramids, such as the Book of the Dead, or the pyramid spells, the pyramid texts that go back even before much of the book or papyrus of Anu or Ani. And the fascination with these certain alignments, I think, is justified because if you've ever had an out of body experience, or if you've ever astral projected where you've actually gone beyond the real time zone into like these areas of, I guess the best way to describe it would be geometrical shapes and patterns, it's really a remarkable. There's nothing much better. Let's just put it that way. And when you experience it, you don't go back. You don't go, oh yeah, I was just hallucinating. Especially if you have those experiences and you're not on any psychological or psychotropic drugs, or not on any drugs, and even over the counter kind of stuff. And oftentimes people will have those experiences right before they go to sleep. And that's the best time to do that. If your mind's awake, your body's asleep, to get outside of your body. But I think that these pharaohs and some of these bloodlines and these ancient Egyptians literally knew how to travel the stars and the different solar systems, the different constellations, and they could probably raise their vibration to a level of being able to experience things in space that we can only dream of. And being able to literally space travel in one location in a pyramid. Because if you've ever researched also the effects a pyramid can have on your sleep, on healing, on some of the more metaphysical side of things, as well as what science can confirm, there's a lot of benefits to a properly built pyramid. Now, if you have one built to Cheops specifications, I've got some Patrick Flanagan pyramids. He's no longer with us. I've got some Patrick Flanagan pyramids that are built to Cheops specifications that are titanium alloy rods that were charged with a Tesla coil. And you can put those up. You can put them up over your bed in your house. You can try putting foods underneath them, even your razor blade, to see if you can keep your razor blade sharp longer. I did those experiments 10 years ago. It worked for me when I did it. This isn't built to Cheops specifications, but this is a really cool pyramid that has I think it's pushing 14 hertz approximately, and it's hooked up to a 9-volt battery. And this is this is probably one of the nicest orgone pyramids you can get, but it emits a really cool energy. It's got a quartz crystal in here, and you can feel the effect. You can definitely feel the effect. The element that this throne could be made out of, this meteorite, this iron from a meteorite, I think also has more of a property on your vibrational level. Now, if you look at some of the hieroglyphics of these Egyptians and what they would do in their rites of passage, their spells and rituals, they would have certain headgear on. The feng shui was to the next level, where they would have specific like trinkets and objects and structures placed. This is actually from Egypt right here. This pyramid is from Egypt. A friend of mine gave me this that I know in the Northwest. This is another pretty neat pyramid. This is made out of copper. This discovery, like if you could actually go into this chamber and put yourself in this throne and wear the same gear, do all the same rituals, they would have breathing techniques, they would sit in certain ways, and that way it would align them with the universe as an antenna. Even Gerald Clark talks about the human antenna. He writes about this extensively in his book Mercury rising. You can check his stuff out at geraldclark77.com. He's done a lot of research into the human antenna. And I feel that this would give the person that sat down in the throne literally superhuman like power. So if they uncover this, they open this up and they start recreating those experiences that they have readily available to them to see what the ancients did, what their ancestors did. What would it do? And what were the pyramids like 10,000 years ago? Were they smooth at one point when they were created? Did they have a smooth surface? Did they have a quartz crystal top that was wrapped in gold and it's all been pillaged and taken? Certainly things that I've questioned for years, and there's a lot of research you can pull up that does show that. So I would say if we can find out by recreating this, maybe we could set up and learn from the ancients. Maybe this would be a way to communicate with divine beings, with our higher selves. Imagine being able to plug yourself in and having a communication link to beings that are way above in spiritual evolution than we are here in this physical body anyhow. Maybe maybe our souls, our spark is a newer creation. Maybe even though some of us feel we've been here forever, maybe there are creations that are new that you could look at on a time scale. And by contacting some of these deities or maybe we're just contacting ourselves. Maybe that's it. Maybe we could contact ourselves from a higher vibrational level 1,000 years into the future, 1,000,000 years ago, and getting to these different constellations and these different star systems. If you can do that via mind and soul and spirit, is there a way also, could they find a way to literally create solid stargates, physically manifest yourself in a different part of the universe? When they refer to Hades in some of these ancient Sumerian tablets and texts, are they referring to that specific part of the universe? And if so, by being at that level, by being there, what is your vibratory state at when you're at that part of the universe? So experiencing these different galaxies and different planets, etc., how much does that affect your body in physical form, which in return will affect your spirit, your higher self? Because even though we've got labels for them as being separate, they are all a part of this same vibrational frequency that seems to go and permeate throughout the universe. It's like, which side of the spectrum are you on in the polarity? And then if it goes outside of the polarities into some of these different spectrums possibly. Or maybe there's a new set of rules and code for that formula that you are now a part of. If you're in the Hades constellation, or the Pleiades, if you're out there in the Pleiades, or if you're out there in the Sirius constellation, and you're living on a planet out there, or you're living a part of some, maybe you're a part of some star, maybe you're a part of the 7 stars out there. You're literally living on one of the stars in a different vibration that you're not going to see in this physical body, because you're seeing about 0.01% of the electromagnetic light spectrum if you're lucky sometimes. And so they're hanging out and just in a different energy. So you could kind of go to that point. You download that consciousness in this chair. You bring it back to you, and it's like taking you to a higher plane of dimensions. It's pretty far out. So let me share with you real quick too. Just take a look at this. So these are some of the headlines. Giza Pyramid Mystery Chamber may hold Pharaoh's meteorite throne. Then Great Pyramid Void may contain mysterious throne carved from alien meteorite. Ancient alien meteorite throne. So read about this, news.com.au, newsweek.com, newsrt.com. I want to show you this right here. So you can see the Grand Gallery. Above that, right above the Grand Gallery, there is that void that they're seeing. And they've discovered this void with these technologies that use like infrared beams. And so they can recreate it in a virtual form. And right above it, they're seeing this huge void that's about 100 feet or more in length. And that's where they think the throne is. So this is from like the 1700s. This is a sketch from Richard Dick Peacock, his name. Wow, that's great, man. Your parents loved you. Mr. Bill Peacock sketch of Pyramid of Cheops from 1754. Wait, just look at it. And then here is the Grand Gallery of the Great Pyramid of Giza. You can see some of it's the sarcophagus in the King's Chamber. Look at all those inscriptions. One of them looks like it says 1888, doesn't it? It's like a lot of people just went in there and wrote their name. Huh. That's interesting. Bob was here. The entrance of the pyramid. I wonder how long it took to build this thing. If they were using just like microwave technologies or like Tesla type technologies, sound technologies. And this will link up with the Orion's Belt. And you look at the newer pyramids, they're nothing compared to the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Cheops Pyramid. Nothing in comparison. And the Sphinx could be older than all of them. The Sphinx could literally be a representation of the Lemurians, which could have been like these lion people with lion features that people have even remote viewed recently from the Phoenix Lights. Maybe they decided to take off. They're like, okay, it's getting a little too serious down here. Let's go back to Sirius. Hello, bingo! No pun intended. Think about it. It's too serious down here. Let's go back to Sirius. Okay, I know it wasn't funny the first time. Why would it be funny the second time? But let's think about this for a minute. Imagine the possibility of building a house to Cheops specifications with certain elements and then putting like this huge crystal, like that dwarfs my 7.5-pound quartz crystal, like a 700-pound or just the biggest quartz crystal you could find, 100-pound quartz crystal, whatever. Put it in the center of your house, and then hooking up like these titanium threads, wrapping it in titanium alloy threads, shooting it down into the earth, maybe 300 feet, 300 and something feet, 333 feet. Do something with the Fibonacci sequence or something, and then see if you could actually create energy from that. There was one guy, there was on YouTube even, I need to find this video again, I saw it years ago, where he did something similar, and he almost blew himself up by when he hooked up these wires and connections to this crystal and this pyramid structure that he built, and just blew him back, almost blew up his arm, like it burnt his entire arm, 3rd-degree burns. I think he's got 2nd, 3rd-degree burns. So be careful with that stuff. But I am wondering if there would be a way to harness these shapes, if you build them to certain specifications, with maybe magnets as well. Throw in some magnets, throw in some quartz crystals, throw in some graphene, throw in different materials and shapes that would kind of link it all together, and then maybe find a way to like literally pull energy out of the earth and have a box for storage. Like you could store this so you could get off the grid, and then you're in an environment that is extremely good for your physical state, according to many of these studies that have been done when they've tested people that have been burn victims, people that have had chronic pain, and they've put them in environments with specifically shaped pyramids. You should read this book by Dr. Patrick Flanagan called Pyramid Power. It's a quick read. It's really good. And you can even do some of the experiments for yourself. You can make pyramids out of cardboard. You can put razor blades underneath them. You align them magnetic north and see if your razor blades last longer. They've got patents from the 40s. Cardboard boxes that people would put razor blades under that would keep their razor blades sharper longer. I think it's from the Ukraine or Czechoslovakia from like 1937 or 1940, early 40s. I think it's the Ukraine. I'll do a follow-up on that. And there you have it. Make sure to support our sponsors. GetTheT.com. I've been taking these things called 8th Elements. Wow. These are amazing. They have cordyceps in them. The energy levels for me have been even better. I've been taking 2 of these a day, and I think they are fantastic. So check them out, GetTheT.com. When you check out, let them know Leak Project sent you. That is my shameless plug. Thank you for supporting Leak Project. Thank you for supporting our sponsors. Be the change you want to see. And go to LeakProject.com today. And subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/clandestine Time Lord. Will you just look at it?